Hello everyone, welcome back. I am here today with part 2 of my Adventure Awaits tutorial for J&S Hobbies and Crafts. I am their guest design team member for this month, and I am so excited to share with you the next part of the tutorial, which includes pages 1 through 4. So let's get started. Okay everyone, so last time that we did the tutorial, we went ahead and we created the cover of the actual cover of our album, and we also created 4 base pages that are going to fit into our 4 hinges. Today what we are going to work on is we're going to work on 2 pages, front and back. So I call them page 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I, just to save time, I went ahead and I pre-cut and pre-measured everything, but do not worry, I will make sure that I give you all the measurements and tell you exactly where the score lines are. I just did it just to save a little bit of time at the beginning. So let's go ahead and get started with this. Now, the first part of this page, a very, very simple layout. I am going to have a pocket at the bottom. The measurements to your pocket is going to be 8.5 by 3.5, and you're going to go ahead and score on 3 sides, 1/2 inch on the 8.5 inch side, turn it another 1/2 inch, and then turn it another 1/2 inch. So what you're going to do now is put away your scoreboard, and you're going to fold your pocket on all these score lines. Grab your tape, and you're going to paste the tape on those folds. Now you are going to cut off a piece of you're going to angle off a piece of the little corners there, so you don't really have to cover everything. I like to, because it just ensures that the entire pocket is like covered. Make sure we varnish very well. And first of all, you're going to get from the little corner, taper it off just a smidge, and here again from the corner, taper it off. Here, same thing that we did with our cover. You get to the corner and you cut it at an angle, and same thing here, go to the corner and cut it at an angle. So I'm sorry if I wasn't in frame there for a little bit. Then you're going to go ahead and adhere your pieces. So I always take off these first, and then make sure that gets stuck to it. Now you can do this 2 different ways. You can go ahead and mat your page first and then put the pocket on top. Like, I would think that it's best if I just slip in the cover, so I'm not going to mat it. I'm going to try, this is the first time I'm going to try it like this. Normally I mat my page when I do a pocket, but this time I'm not going to. The openings are at the sides. My pocket is going to be towards the bottom, and I need to make sure that it is aligned at the bottom and centered, just like so. And then now that's that. Now my next part is going to be a flap that covers that pocket. Those measurements are 8 by 7.5. Yeah, 7.5, and I went ahead and I scored at the 1/2 inch mark on the 8 inch side, and I'm just going to leave my scoreboard on there. I am going to attach some score tape to this flap right here. Go ahead and remove that, and again I'm going to place this first here before I mat anything, so that way my mat covers this little flap here. And I like tapering it off, I don't know why, but again you're gonna have to align this to the very edge. So now that's a flap. When you open it up, here is a pocket for some tags or journaling. Now we're not done. I am going to add a belly band to the front of this page, this flap. And this is going to measure, again, 8.5, scoring it 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch on both sides. And then the belly band's going to measure 3 inches long. So again, I'm going to place some score tape right along the scored sides. Burnish that down so that way it can get stuck. Pull that off. And now I do want this to be somewhat centered on my page. So I am thinking, I'm just eyeballing it here, guys. You really don't have to. You can measure it if you would like, but I'm just making sure that the belly band looks straight. And there we go. Again, normally you would mat this, but I am going to try and just slip in the designer paper in there. Now the next piece that I'm going to put is I'm going to put like a little card that just flips right there. Of course you can add some more photo mats, but I'm thinking I'm going to use a 4x4 cut apart here. So this entire piece measures actually 4 1/4 by 8.5. So as if I use a 4x4 card on here, I'm going to have about an 1/8 inch border around, which is what I want. And this is just going to slip on in just like that. So this is page 1. It has the belly band. Of course, I might go ahead and fit in some more photo mats in there, flip this up, and some more photo mats or tags in there I will add. So this is the beginning or the front of page 1. Now to construct page 2, all I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little booklet enough to be able to house 4x6 vertical photos. Now I'm still wondering whether I want it like this or if I want them like this. I'm thinking I'm going to go with the horizontal. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and go with that. So I am going to attach hinges in between each of them. So what you're going to need is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces that measure 4.5 by 6.5, and that's going to be perfect for a 4x6 photo. And you'll have a craft border around it, or if you choose to cover it up with designer paper, that will work as well. You'll also need 4 pieces that measure 1 inch by 6.5, and each one of these you're going to score at 1/2 inch. So you're going to score this at 1/2 inch, get the next one scored at 1/2 inch, next scored at 1/2 inch, and the following one scored at 1/2 inch. Once all of them are scored, you're going to go ahead and fold on your score marks, creating little 1/2 inch hinges. And you are going to attach score tape, or you can use art glitter glue on there. So because this is 3/8 inch, it fits perfectly here. So I'm going to add my score tape. Let me remove my scoreboard here. Makes it easier. And add score tape to this side. That's one. Okay, so now we have all our score tape on all 4 of our hinges. We are simply going to get, the first piece is going to be our base, and we're going to attach the hinge with the folded edge outward, so that way it can open up this way. So just like before, let's varnish down our score tape. Remove the backing, pull it off to the side a bit. Make sure it is lined up at the top and at the edge of your 4x6. Hold it still and pull it off. So there we go. That's our first hinge. Now the same thing goes here. Remove this tape backing. grab your next card, your next piece, line that up as straight as possible, and pull. So you're going to continue doing that. Okay, so now we're done. Get all that trash out of the way. So now you have a little booklet that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. Now, in order to close this, because this is going to be going back here, I'm going to want it to lay flat. So this one I am going to have to put a designer paper on here as a mat, because this is going to be glued right here, just like that. I am going to give this piece, I wasn't going to, but I'm going to give it about an 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch gusset, simply because once I add the designer paper, or once we add photos, then it's going to be a little bit difficult to actually close. So here I'm just lining up on any, given score line, and I'm going to give it a 1/4 of an inch of a gusset. So now this has a lot of wiggle room to play with. So this is going to be attached to the back, just like so. And this is going to be attached with a magnet right here. So let me go ahead and add the magnet before I add the designer paper. Again, like, this is something that you can pick up at Shellie's store. These are the magnetic discs, the larger ones. So I need to make sure I do not use all of them, because I know I need one for my front cover for sure. But I think this is a perfect way to use it. So I'm going to take the backing off of, and I love the fact that they're sticky already, so you don't have to add some tape. So I'm going to take the backing off there, and I'm going to add it right here, because I do not want to have any leeway to have like the designer paper to be, right at the edge. And when it closes, it's going to close like that. So that means this is going to get stuck to it. I have to take the backing off of that. So now I want it closed right in the middle. I should probably glue this first. Come on. So I'm going to glue this to somewhat the middle. I am not going to get on that score line, because if not, then it won't be able to flip open. So that looks about straight. So here I'm just going to stick it down there. Now it opens and it closes. So before I go ahead and attach this, I do need to get some of my designer paper, so that way I can go ahead and adhere that to the page. So I'm going to cut the little strip off. Make sure this is 7 1/4 by 7 1/4. And this is going to go ahead and get glued right here, just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and leave it just like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue that down. Make sure that it's the right way. And there we go. Now our little booklet is going to go right here in the middle. So all of this needs to have glue on as well. All around the edges. Now the matting, I'm going to go ahead and do that probably off camera just to save time, but I will give you the dimensions of the mats that you will need. And who knows, what if I just mat like the first one and then the rest I leave them craft, because like I said, the dimensions are perfect for a 4x6 photo frame. Now I did say that I want this horizontal, so before I glued it this way, I'm going to do it like this, and I'm probably going to attach an ephemera piece right here as a cover. So I'm going to make sure this is pretty much centered on my page as I lay it down. It looks about right. I'm going to pull this apart, go to my very back page, and varnish this really well. And now the measurements for the mat, I usually like giving it a 1/4 inch, so that way it has an 1/8 inch around. So since it is 6 1/2, I would probably do the mats as 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. So that would be the mats for here. So you'd need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 9 total pictures can actually fit in this little booklet, and it will close just like that. So here we go. That is the finishing part of page 1. And before I start part 2, I will go ahead and show you how I matted the pages, but I want to get the construction of the pages done. So this is page 1. We are done. Page 2, again, I have everything already cut apart, so that way it makes things a little easier. Page 2, well actually page 3, if you could consider it, because I'm calling this page 1. Page 2, this will be page 3. This is going to be very, very simple. All I did is I cut 2 flaps that I'm actually going to want them to overlap this way. And this is going to be placed right here, so that way we can put up an ephemera piece right there to close it off. And it's probably going to be closed off with another magnet. I'm not too sure if I'm going to want to put something here yet. I want to probably leave this for a bigger picture, but let me go ahead and give you the dimensions of the flaps. Now the flaps are going to measure 6 1/2 by 6, and I'm going to go ahead and score at the 1/2 inch mark, which leaves a mat of 6 by 6. So you're going to need 2 of those. They're the exact same size. And then this little guy is measuring 4 1/4 by 3 1/2. So this is going to be perfect for, like, actually I can probably put him at 3 1/4, and a 3x4 card can actually fit pretty well on this thing. So let me go ahead and do that actually, because this is 3 1/2. So let me move him at 3 1/4. And now he'll be 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, which would be perfect to put on a 3x4 journaling card. Now, once you have scored, go ahead and attach your score tape to your flaps. And this is going to be attached here, and I'm going to want them smack in the middle. So again, remove my tape backing, line it up where I want it. I'm eyeballing the middle here. That's about right. Remove that. Now all I'm going to do is align this one with the one I just placed on there. So make sure it's aligned at the edge, like so. And there we go. So now you have a flap going this way, a flap going that way, big room for pictures right here. And this guy right here is going to go like so. I do like coordinating my paper, so let me go ahead and just mat it now. And I'm thinking this goes well with that, so let me go ahead and cut this. Now I did say those mats measured 6 by 6, so that means the mats are going to be 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. So needs to go there. Once that completely dries, you're going to have a little flap that opens this way. I know that was a bit confusing. Sorry, guys. I had an idea. It didn't work. Had to go vertical, but, you know, that's how crafting works. You try something, doesn't work, try another thing, and you get it. So I do want to leave these full so that way we can fit some big, larger photos in here. And I'm probably going to add like an ephemera and embellishment right there. So that's page 3. Again, this is page 1 with the pocket. Turn it over, page 2 with our little book. And page 3 with our flaps. Now the back part, page 4. I'm going to have another pocket on the bottom. a flap going on top, and the closure that what's going to keep the flap down are some tags. So again, this is going to measure 8.5 by 3.5, and you're going to score 1/2 inch on 3 sides. Make sure you put some score tape on this. On top is going to go right above it, like so. So this measures, pull this out, this measures 7.5 by 4.25, and you're going to score 1/2 inch on the longer side. Attach your score tape. Finish that down, and you're going to attach this to the top, and it should be flushed at the top like so. Now this flap, I'm not going to put a magnet simply because I am going to attach 2 tags just like so on it. Now these tags, I just made them out of my scraps, honestly. They measure 6 by 4, so you can probably trim down a 4 by 6 or 4 by 4, and all I did is I tapered a corner off, flipped it, and then just cut it the same way. So these are like self-made tags, but these are going to be the closure that's going to hold that flap down. But this flap, I did want to incorporate a tiny little pocket so that we can have some small journaling cards up here. So again, this piece measures 8.5 by 2. So the pocket itself is going to be only 1.5 inches long, or tall, I guess you could say. Just like so. So now this flips down, and because you have a little pocket, you do need these tags to slip right on in there to close your page, just like so. So that is page 1 through 4 of our mini album, and it's looking kind of chunky already, which I'm loving. Now as far as the matting is concerned, guys, do not worry. I will come back towards the end of the tutorial to give you the mat sizes, or show you how I matted the album itself, and give you the dimensions of what I cut my mats out to be. I just wanted to make sure it's not too long for you, so that way you can at least get the construction of the album itself. Usually the base rule that I have for matting is whatever size dimension like the flap is, you can go 1/4 inch smaller, giving you 1/8 of an inch, depending on how much of a trim you want. For this one, I'm thinking I'm liking the 1/8 of an inch look a lot better. So I'm going to have, like, say for example, this pocket measures 7.5, so this is going to end up being 7.25 mat long wise, and it's 3 inches tall, so it's going to be 2 3/4 tall, and that's going to be my mat. So yeah, that's pretty much page 1. Let me show it to you again. This is page 1, the belly band with the 4-inch flap up and a pocket in here. Page 2, our little book that has a lot of room for photos. Page 3 that has room for larger photos. And page 4, which has our 2 large tags, a flap going up for some journaling cards in here or some ephemera, and here this is where we have our 2 tags for pictures and journaling. So hopefully so far you are enjoying this tutorial. If you are, please go ahead and give this a thumbs up. I will be back with pages 5, 6, 7, and 8. That will be my part 3, and part 4 will be pretty much doing the front cover, back cover, and the insides of the covers as well. And I might have a bonus footage of how I embellish this, or just kind of like a process video of me putting all the ephemera and all that stuff into place with the album itself. So go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it so far. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and push that notification bell so you can be notified of all the other videos that I will be uploading for this tutorial and any other. And we will see you guys in the next one. Bye now.